So you're out hiking, and you see a spider that glows like a neon sign. Wait, is that even a spider? Or is it a disco ball with legs? You think, oh cool, this thing is basically a bioluminescent superhero spider, right? But then you realize, wait, spiders don't glow, unless they're really, really drunk. But here's the twist. Some spiders do glow in the dark, and not because they're partying, but because they're playing a clever game of light and dark. So how do these glowing spiders even find their way around? Are they like, walking in the dark with a flashlight built into their back, or are they just really good at hiding? Turns out, it's not a flashlight, it's a survival trick, and it's way cooler than you'd expect. Let's dive in. So what exactly are we talking about? Let me break it down like I'm explaining to my dog, who's pretty smart but doesn't care about spiders. Glow-in-the-dark spiders, as the name suggests, can light up in the dark. But wait, they're not like glow sticks or neon shirts. They're more like nature's tiny night lights. These spiders don't just glow randomly. It's a biological thing like how humans have bioluminescent bacteria in their guts, but cooler and way more terrifying. So, they're not using the glow to scare predators or to find prey. No, it's more like a built-in flashlight, but for the spider's own use. Think of it like a tiny nightlight in your ceiling fan. Always on, but you never notice it. But here's the kicker. They don't actually glow. They're just reflecting light from their surroundings like a mirror, but in a very, very subtle way. So it's not glow in the dark, it's more like light in the dark. So when we say glow in the dark spider, we're mostly talking about their ability to reflect light. It's not magic, it's just biology. And it's pretty cool, honestly. You're probably not thinking about spiders right now. But imagine if your favorite sock started glowing in the dark. Would you toss it or keep it? That's your brain doing the same thing with glow-in-the-dark spiders. They're basically your sock's weird, glowing cousin. Why does it matter? Because if you're ever stuck in a cave, or a dark room, and you see a glowing spider, you might just be looking at your new survival buddy. They're like the spider version of a lantern, minus the batteries. Also, if you've ever wondered why some things glow, it's not just for show. It's a secret language, a way to say I'm here, I'm safe, I'm not a threat. It's like a spider version of I'm friendly sign, but with bioluminescence. And let's be real, if you're ever in a dark room and see a glowing spider, you're not just seeing a spider, you're seeing a tiny, glowing, self-aware creature that's probably judging your choice of lighting. So yeah, maybe you don't need to care about glow-in-the-dark spiders. But if you do, now you know they're not just creepy, they're also kind of cool, kind of smart, and maybe a little bit of a judgmental glow-in-the-dark philosopher. Okay, let's jump back to the 1930s. When someone finally got sick of spiders and decided to study them, they found these glowing bugs in the dark and thought, wait, how do they even find their way around? It's like they're using a glow stick as a compass. Turns out, they're not using the glow as a map. They're just using it to light up their own path. Like a flashlight on a dark hike, but way cooler and with more legs. But here's the twist. They can't see their own glow. They're like a person with a flashlight in their pocket, but they can't actually see the light. They just know it's there. So they're basically just using their glow to light up the dark, not to navigate. It's like using a lantern to find your way, but not knowing where the light is coming from. And that's basically how it's been since the 1930s. People kept looking, and it's still the same story. Glow, not GPS, and a whole lot of creepy crawlies with a side of science. So next time you see a glowing spider, just remember, they're not GPSing their way through the dark. They're just being a little bit extra with their own light. And that's the history of glow-in-the-dark spiders. Short, sweet, and slightly spooky. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like if you're into creepy crawlies and science with a side of humor. So, imagine you're a spider who can glow in the dark. You're not just a creepy crawler, you're a light-up bug. That glow helps you see your way around when the sun isn't shining. Like a tiny flashlight, your glow helps you find your web, even when it's pitch black. You're not just a spider, you're a glow-in-the-dark superhero. So you glow only when you need to, not all the time. That way you save energy and don't get eaten by a hungry owl. Smart move, spider. And the best part? Their glow isn't just for you. It also helps other spiders find you, like a glowing GPS for the whole web. So, in short, glow-in-the-dark spiders use their light like a tiny lantern to navigate, avoid danger, and even find friends. Super cool, right? Okay, so these spiders aren't just glowing for Halloween. They've got the special stuff inside their bodies called luciferin. It's like their own little flashlight, but way cooler. You know how your phone has a flashlight? Imagine if your phone was a spider and could glow in the dark. But wait, how do they even get that glow? Well, they eat stuff that has this chemical called luciferin. It's like eating glow-in-the-dark candy, except instead of getting a glowy belly, they get a glowy whole body. So, when it's dark, their bodies start to glow. but it's not like a light bulb. It's more like a faint, soft glow like a campfire in the distance. Imagine if your favorite nightlight was a spider. But here's the kicker. The glow isn't super bright. It's more like a hint of light in the dark. So they don't use it as a spotlight. They use it as a way to see or maybe to scare off predators. It's kind of like a stealthy glow. So the setup is, they eat the right stuff. Their bodies make glowy chemicals, and then they become little glowing critters in the dark. It's like nature's version of a glow stick, but with more spider vibes. Okay, so they're not just glowing like a nightlight. They're actually using this glow to see better in the dark. It's like having a tiny lantern on your back. Oh wait, how does the glow help them find their way? Oh right, they're not using it to light up the room. They're using it to see other spiders or find their web. And here's the kicker. The glow isn't just for seeing, it's also for communication. Like a spider flashlight, but with more spider vibes. So the glow is basically their way of saying, hey, I'm here, I'm not lost, and I'm ready to make a web or find a mate or maybe just scare off a predator. In the end, it's not just about light, it's about survival, communication, and a little bit of spider magic. And honestly, I'm still trying to figure out why they glow. Okay, so they're not just glowing because they're lazy. They actually use that light to see better in the dark, like a tiny lantern on their back. Oh wait, how do they not get blinded by their own glow? Maybe they have sunglasses? Or maybe they're just really good at not looking at themselves. Or maybe they're like, I'm gonna glow so bright, I can see everything else clearly, even if I can't see myself. That's kinda poetic, right? So it's not just about glowing, it's about using that light to find their way, like a tiny flashlight on a night hike. So in the end, they're not just glowing, they're using that glow like a map, a beacon, and a little spotlight all at once. Pretty smart for a spider. So, here's the thing. Glow-in-the-dark spiders don't actually glow. They just absorb light and then slowly glow like a tiny lantern. It's kind of like how your phone flashlight turns off when you're done, but these spiders are like, I'm still glowing, thanks. The glow is actually from a chemical reaction inside their bodies. Think of it like a science experiment you did in first grade, but with spider guts and no permission slips. They use this glow not to light up the whole room, but to see in the dark. It's like having a tiny headlamp that only turns on when it's pitch black. Pretty cool, right? But here's the twist. They can control how much they glow. It's like if your phone had a nightlight mode. But you could also make it super bright if you wanted to. Total power move. And guess what? Some scientists think they might even use the glow to communicate with each other. Like a spider version of Morse code, but with light. Cool. So imagine you're a glow-in-the-dark spider. But instead of glowing like a nightlight, you're basically a tiny disco ball made of spider silk. You're like a walking, glowing, spider-shaped disco ball, dancing around in the dark. You don't need eyes to see, because you're basically a glowing lantern. You're not looking for light, you're being light. Like a glow stick that's also a walking stick. It's like if a firefly and a nightlight had a baby, and that baby was a spider. You're not seeing the dark, you're being the light. You're literally glowing in the dark, like a tiny flashlight with 8 legs. Quick word from our sponsor. If this sounds like something you'd enjoy, take a look at the Fire TV Stick 4K streaming device. There's a link and a QR code on screen right now, and in the description below. Alright, back to it. So you're not navigating by light, you're navigating by being light. It's like if you were a glow-in-the-dark jellyfish, and you were trying to find your way home through the ocean, but you're also the light. So yeah, glow-in-the-dark spiders are basically walking light bulbs that don't need electricity. They're like the dark's favorite party guests, glowing up the place. So here's the part that sounds like a sci-fi movie, but is actually real. These spiders don't just glow, they glow in different colors. It's like their own tiny neon sign, but for survival. They use this glowing stuff to find mates and avoid predators. It's like having a flashlight in the dark, but also a disco ball for the spiders who like to party. But here's the kicker, the glowing isn't just for show. It's actually a kind of signal, like a secret handshake between spiders. They use it to say I'm not a threat, I'm just trying to have a good time. And if you're wondering, the glow isn't from a battery or a light bulb. It's from chemicals in their bodies reacting to light, like a glow stick, but with more spider vibes. So even though it sounds like something from a fantasy novel, glow-in-the-dark spiders are just doing their thing with a little help from chemistry. It's like they're saying, hey, I'm a spider, and I glow. What's your superpower? So here's the first myth. Glow-in-the-dark spiders use their glow to navigate like a built-in flashlight. But that's not how it works at all. They're not like a glow-in-the-dark sticker on your fridge. In reality, they're just glowing like a neon sign in the dark. They don't use it to find their way. They just look cool. It's like if your shoes glowed in the dark, but you didn't use them to walk anywhere. They navigate by sensing vibrations, smells, and maybe even the moon. Glow is just a bonus effect, not a tool. It's like if your phone had a flashlight and you thought it was a GPS. So, no glowing flashlight in the dark. They're not like a glow-in-the-dark spider god. They just glow, like a little disco ball in the night. That's myth 1, busted. Next up, we're talking about whether spiders can actually see in the dark. Spoiler, they can, but not like you think. So here's the next myth. Glow-in-the-dark spiders use their glow to navigate like a built-in flashlight. Nope, that's not how it works. They're not trying to light up the dark, they're just being extra dramatic. Think of it like a firefly trying to navigate by blinking. The spider isn't using the glow to see, it's using it to scare off predators or find mates. It's more of a party trick than a navigation tool. And here's the kicker. Even if they did use their glow for navigation, they'd still need eyes. Spiders are not blind, they have eyes and they use them to see their surroundings. It's not like they're just glowing and flying blind. So, to recap, glow-in-the-dark spiders don't use their glow to navigate, they're just glowy, like a glow-in-the-dark sticker on a wall. It's not a map, it's a mood. Myth 2, busted. Now, on to myth 3. But first, let's take a break, because I'm pretty sure that spider just blinked at me and it was a metaphor for my life. So, glow-in-the-dark spiders aren't just spooky, they're also kinda like the glow-in-the-dark spiders in your childhood nightmares. You know, the ones that creep into your room at night and make you wonder if your ceiling is alive. But here's the kicker. Even if you can't see them in the dark, they can still see you. Like a glow-in-the-dark spider version of a nightlight. They're basically the original bioluminescent stealth bombers. So next time you're in the dark, and you feel like something's watching you, maybe it's not a ghost. Maybe it's a spider trying to find its way home. Like a glowing version of a lost kid in a mall. And if you're ever in a dark room, and you feel like something's peeking at you from the corner wall, maybe it's just a spider. Or maybe it's a spider with a glow stick. Either way, it's a weirdly beautiful thing. So remember, even if you can't see them, they can still see you. Glow-in-the-dark spiders are like the ultimate night owls. They're always on duty, always glowing, and never giving up the ghost. So here's the thing. I found a glow-in-the-dark spider in my bathroom. It was like a tiny disco ball in the dark, and I was like, oh, you're not just glowing, you're also a ninja. I tried to follow it like, where are you going, little glowing ninja? But it just kept moving like it had a secret mission and I was in the way. I thought maybe it was using the glow to find its way home, like a tiny flashlight in the dark. But then I realized it was happily just looking for a snack nap spot. Either way, it was like watching a tiny glowing superhero with no powers, just survival instincts and a light up belly. So yeah, glow-in-the-dark spiders are basically the original bioluminescent ninjas, and I'm just the guy trying to follow them in the dark. And if you ever see one, just know it's not trying to glow up, it's trying to survive and maybe find a snack or a nap. So next time you see a glowing spider, just be like, hey, tiny glow up, where's your snack? So, this spider isn't just glowing, it's glowing so hard it's basically a disco ball in the dark. Imagine if your favorite sock got a glow stick and started dancing on your feet. This is the record-breaking spider, the glow enthusiast extraordinaire. It's like if a firefly got a glow stick and said, I'm not just glowing, I'm asterisk glowing up asterisk. Okay, so imagine you're a glow-in-the-dark spider, and you're trying to navigate a dark cave. You're like, I'm glowing, I'm glowing, I'm glowing. But then you realize your glow is fading. Like, you're literally running out of light. Now you're in total darkness, and you're like, wait, did I just lose my glow? Did I die? Am I a ghost now? Or am I just really bad at spidering? You start to panic and try to use your legs to feel around. But your legs are just normal legs. No glow, no light, no clue where you are. Eventually, you either find your way back to the light or you just give up and become a very sad, very dark spider. Like, I tried. I really tried. So, here's the catch. Glow-in-the-dark spiders aren't actually glowing. They're just reflecting light, like a disco ball in a dark room. But no one told the brochure that. It's like if your phone screen was a disco ball, and you were in a pitch black room. You look like a glowing emoji, but you're just reflecting the light. No actual glow. So when they say glow-in-the-dark, they're being a little dishonest. It's more like reflecting the dark with a sprinkle of marketing flair. And if you think they're using their glow to find prey, you're probably wrong. They're more likely using it to scare off predators, like a tiny, glowing warning sign. So in the end, glow-in-the-dark spiders are basically like the universe's most subtle alarm clock. Glow to warn, not to find food. And that's the downside nobody puts on the brochure. So, how did humans even figure out glow-in-the-dark spiders navigate? Well, it turns out we didn't just stumble upon it. We had to do some serious detective work, like solving a mystery with a magnifying glass and a lot of patience. They started by looking at these spiders under black lights. Like, imagine you're at a party and you turn off all the lights, then suddenly everyone starts glowing. That's basically what scientists did with spiders. They noticed the spiders would follow the glow, like they're using it like a flashlight. But wait, how do they know which way to go? They probably use it like a path, like a kid following a glowing trail through a dark room. Eventually, they realized the spiders used the light to find their way, like a natural GPS. But here's the kicker, they don't need it all the time. They're basically like, I can see in the dark, so I don't need this glow. So, to recap, humans figured this out by being really curious and patient. Like, they did the spider version of I wonder what happens if I turn off the lights, and then kept asking questions until they got the answer. So here's the weird edge case. What if a glow-in-the-dark spider is in a totally dark room with no light at all? It's like a flashlight in a pitch-black cave, no one can see it, but it still tries to find its way. Wait, but how does it know where to go if there's no light to follow? Maybe it uses the glow to find other glowing spiders, like a spider version of a firefly party. Or maybe it's just super lost and uses its glow to scare off other spiders, thinking it's a predator. Either way, it's a weird situation, like a glow-in-the-dark spider in a dark room, trying to be both invisible and a light show. So, in the end, it's like a spider that's a glow stick and also a lost kid at a party. Both things at once. What if we made a glow-in-the-dark spider that only glows when it's about to fall off a cliff? It would be like a spider with a neon warning label. You'd see it glowing, and then it would just fall. Like a spider version of a do not touch sign. Quick word from our sponsor. If this sounds like something you'd enjoy, take a look at the Stanley Quencher 40 Oz Tumblr. There's a link and a QR code on screen right now, and in the description below. Alright, back to it. Imagine using these spiders as living night lights. You put one on your shelf, and it glows all night long, but then it starts to glow more when it gets hungry. You're like, wait, is it glowing because it's tired or because it wants food? What if we made a spider that glows only when it's happy? Then every time you see a glowing spider, you know it's having a good day. Like, oh, that spider's glowing, probably just ate a bug and is happy about it. But you the customs those of as a hand give not in the dark and event be dangerous. So if you see one glowing, maybe it's not just a decoration, it's a message. So the next time you see a glowing spider, ask yourself, is it just being itself, or is it trying to tell you something? Maybe it's just a spider with a glow stick, or maybe it's trying to get your attention. Either way, it's pretty cool. Before you go, if you enjoyed this, please give it a like, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And tell us in the comments what you'd like us to make next. We read every single one. Thank you so much for watching.
Comment this emoji if you made it to the end.